Tonight,
it is fundamentally a no.
Keeping officers out of education spaces.
What we just need are resources and support, not police.
The pushback against the province's plan to bring police back into schools. Plus, forced closure. The longtime London restaurant shut down by City Hall to make way for transit lanes.
Thank you so much for giving my children everything.
And a head start on cold weather gear.
They get to take what they need, not just for themselves, but for every member of their family.
The local program making sure families in need stay warm this winter.
CTV News with Carlisle Fizette.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. We begin tonight with a rally outside the Thames Valley School Board offices. Demonstrators were voicing their opposition to police officers coming back into schools. Brian Bicknell has more on their vision for keeping schools police-free.
It is fundamentally a no to all forms of policing in school programs.
Their message was loud and delivered at the doorstep of the Thames Valley District School Board. About a dozen people making up the group Policing Free Schools rallied outside the board office Friday. They were protesting the provincial government's proposed Bill 33. If passed, it would give the province more oversight of school boards, including a mandate to put police back in school.
They cannot police their way into school safety, student safety, or student academic achievement.
Among the speakers, a Thames Valley School Board trustee and student trustee.
Police symbolize surveillance for students, and what we just need are resources and support, not police.
Both the Thames Valley and London Catholic District School Boards suspended their school resource officer programs in 2021. The Catholic Board has since voted to bring back a revamped version, but the Public Board voted against it.
The presence of SROs is triggering or re-traumatizing for some students.
In a statement, the Public Board said any decision to re-implement this program is at the discretion of the Ministry of Education. Meantime, the London Police Association says the goal of officers in schools is to build positive relationships.
Well, I think sometimes then the first contact youth may have with a police officer is in a negative connotation. You're dealing with the police in a moment of crisis, where if we can be in the schools and you build those relationships and that trust, I think it's a positive experience versus a negative experience.
This was the last of 10 rallies being held in centres across Ontario. The group plans to take its message straight to the Doug Ford government, though, with a major rally planned for Queen's Park on Monday. Brian Bicknell, CTV News.
London police officers will now patrol city buses on downtown and East End routes. Police announced the new partnership with London Transit today. They say foot patrol officers will ride buses periodically during their shifts, an effort in crime prevention. They also encourage riders to speak with officers about any concerns they have when it comes to transit safety. A landmark restaurant that introduced thousands of Londoners to Indian cuisine will soon close after more than 40 years in business. The owners have been forced into this situation, their land expropriated by the city for the bus rapid transit project. As Daryl Newcomb reports, the timeline for the takeover is still uncertain.
We're not ready to stop. We haven't been ready to stop. We're just being stopped.
Curry's is being forced to close after more than 40 years in London. The groundbreaking restaurant and its landmark, brightly colored building will soon be a victim of the road widening to accommodate bus rapid transit on Wellington. Its owners, the Cacadias, are overwhelmed by the response they're receiving from customers in the restaurant and on social media.
We've had so many generations of families coming here. Every day now it's sad when I see customers, they come see us, and we're like, we're not going to be here.
We get so many people that say this is the first Indian restaurant that they were at. It's the first Indian food they had, and that it was the first Indian experience.
That includes Bud Carter, a customer since Curry's was located on Horton Street in the mid-1980s.
It's sad. It is sad. This restaurant has been a great restaurant in the community, and these folks are just the best, and it's hitting them pretty hard.
Only a few doors down, the BRT construction project is gradually making its way south along Wellington. The Curry's building has to go, but the key question is when. Although Curry's has announced its final day will be on November 30th, this expropriation notice sent from City Hall sets a November 10th deadline.
We get expropriation notices like 3-4 weeks ago, and with the date on it, and by the time we talk to our lawyer and get clarification, time's already almost up.
We're just looking for some more communication on how to execute this a little bit better so that it's fair.
CTV News asked the city if it could offer some flexibility about the date, but civic administration was tight-lipped in a one-sentence response. Quote, "The city cannot comment publicly on this matter as there are ongoing discussions with the property owner's legal counsel."
Just been a lot to handle. It's pushed us into a little bit of a corner in the decisions that we make.
Curry's will be providing updates on its website and social media. Daryl Newcomb, CTV News.
Hundreds of winter coats were handed out today, the start of an annual campaign providing free winter gear for Londoners who might otherwise not have access. With more on the program and its impact, here's Rita Ismail.
I have 2 boys, go school today, don't have socks. Thank you so much for giving me socks, for giving my children everything.
Magdalene Ramsey is one of hundreds of people who walked through the doors of Goodwill on Horton Street today to get winter necessities for her family.
Thank you for Goodwill. Give clothes free.
It's all a part of the annual winter coat giveaway organized through the Clothing Works program at Goodwill Industries. It provides people from all walks of life an opportunity to get a gently donated winter coat and accessories that they otherwise couldn't afford.
They're really grateful to be able to have a place where they can come in, where they're treated and they're seen and people are kind to them, and they get to take what they need, not just for themselves, but for every member of their family, and in a dignified way.
By noon, over 350 people had come through and 365 coats had been given out.
The need is overwhelming when you think about it, but I think that because of Goodwill and how we work, we have the capacity to collect a lot of coats from the community.
Organizers say the coats and accessories have all been donated by the local community over the past few months, cleaned, sanitized, and carefully organized for the giveaway.
I have come to look for my winter clothes together with my child.
The giveaway continues Saturday at Goodwill Industries, 255 Horton Street East. No registration is required. Residents can simply walk in and pick up what they need. Because sometimes a coat isn't just a coat, it's a fresh start.
Look.
Rita Ismail, CTV News.
Good evening and happy Friday. We started the day with some very light showers. We still have a bit of light rainfall in parts of Midwestern Ontario. This is associated with an elevated warm front, so temperatures will be on the milder side overnight in comparison to the last couple of nights. You can see on the satellite radar still some showers in and around the GTA. In London, we had some nice peaks of sunshine, which helped push our temperature up this afternoon. So we did see a little bit of sunshine. Clouds will increase once again overnight, although high pressure will be moving back in briefly. We'll see the return flow around this high tomorrow, and that means winds out of the southwest. But this area of low pressure is going to pack a punch this weekend. We'll talk about that and timing of this system as it moves in. As we head toward midnight, still 13 degrees with winds light out of the south. Coming up, I'll take you through your weekend weather forecast. A bit of sunshine to get you through your Saturday, but Sunday will be one of those stay indoors days. I'll have that coming up for you in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Julie. The Prime Minister announced new measures for border security today, hiring 1,000 new border officers aiming to crack down on illegal guns and drugs. With more on the pre-budget spending promise, here's Judy Trin.
But we also have a slew of other prohibited devices.
Examples of illegal weapons seized at the Niagara Falls border crossing. To thwart growing threats, the Liberal government is funding more border security agents.
During the election campaign, we were clear that our borders had to be secure so everyone in Canada can feel safe. And we promised to hire 1,000 new CBSA officers to bolster our border protection efforts.
The upcoming budget will allocate $617 million to recruit 1,000 CBSA officers over the next 5 years, a pledge made by Mark Carney while campaigning to be Prime Minister.
So how many of those boots are going to be on the ground? Are we actually waiting for the budget for this funding to come through? Because we haven't had a budget. It comes in November. So there are actually more questions than answers that we got from the minister's announcement today.
A focus will be on hiring special analysts who can identify suspects connected to organized crime, human smuggling, immigration fraud, and terrorism.
It is very promising. We have to start somewhere. It's something we've been asking for a long time. Our members will be really happy to hear that this is going to come about.
The union representing border guards says the challenges include a need to expand training facilities and provide more equipment like these X-ray machines to agents so they can do more searches.
We don't really examine rail. We examine less than 1%. We have land borders, airports, which really overuse students, where we need to get officers in those positions. It's really across the board.
Hiring these new CBSA officers are measures on top of the $1.3 billion border security plan announced last year by the Liberals under Justin Trudeau. Judy Trin, CTV News, Ottawa.
Provincial police say one person was airlifted to hospital early this morning after a crash near Tillsonburg. According to OPP, there was just one vehicle involved about 4 kilometers south of Tillsonburg just after 1 a.m. Police say the driver has minor injuries, but the passenger's injuries are life-threatening. They also say the 23-year-old driver faces multiple impaired driving charges.
As we know, year after year, impaired driving is a leading cause in collisions that result in serious injuries or death. And something like this is preventable. And that is a message we'd like to send out to all motorists. Your decisions behind the wheel matter.
A section of Highway 401 in London will be fully closed starting tomorrow night, lasting until Sunday morning. The closure will stretch from Highway 4 to the 402. Crews will be removing the old Glamworth Drive overpass. The demolition is expected to last from 6 p.m. Saturday until 10 a.m. Sunday, and detours will be in place. The new Glamworth overpass has been rebuilt 500 meters east of the old structure. OPP say human remains have been found near Caledonia connected to a homicide investigation in Simcoe. According to police, an autopsy took place today determining the person's identity. Police say they had been looking for 49-year-old Robert Sykes, who went missing 2 weeks ago. Back on October 5th, police say they were called to a home in Simcoe where the body of a 71-year-old woman was discovered. Last week, police arrested a 45-year-old man, charging him with second-degree murder. London police say they're looking for 2 suspects after a man was shot with a BB gun last night in the East End. Police say they were called to Shelbourne Street for a reported trespassing. According to police, the victim was shot several times, suffering non-life-threatening injuries. They say 2 men then ran away, one of whom the victim knew. The other was a stranger. A sentencing hearing at the London courthouse today for the woman convicted of strangling her own mother to death. With more, here's Nick Paparella.
43-year-old Barbara Cabala kept wiping away tears as both the Crown and defense made arguments surrounding her sentence. Cabala was convicted of manslaughter in January in connection with the brutal death of her mother, 59-year-old Elzbieta Cabala. The court heard there had been a physical fight and argument between the mother and daughter in July of 2021 that ended up turning deadly. The mother suffered more than 50 injuries to her neck after being strangled by her daughter during the fight at the Mums townhouse on Wilkins Street. Crown attorney Cara Douglas argued that Cabala should receive a sentence of 10 years in prison, saying there's a need of denunciation for the killing of one's own mother. Cabala's lawyer, Jeff Snow, continued to argue that it was self-defense, saying that she should not go to jail, asking for a conditional sentence and probation. Barb Cabala was committing the assault on her mother to defend herself. Cabala remains free on bail. Justice Patricia Moore will hand down her sentencing decision in the case on February 3rd. Nick Paparella, CTV News.
Officials with the Natural Resources Ministry say 2 swans were fatally shot near Clinton. The birds were found in the Hullet Marsh last Friday, and at this point, it's not clear who shot them. Coming up, protein powder packed with lead, the warning for Canadian consumers about a serious potential health risk. Plus, a chance at a total turnaround. Game 5 underway with the Blue Jays looking for a series lead.
Download the CTV News app and stay on top of local stories as they unfold.
We begin tonight with Ontario's
Customize your feed and watch live wherever you are. CTVLondon.ca, your home for news.
Welcome back. The federal Conservative leader is accusing the RCMP of protecting former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau from criminal charges, suggesting the Mounties were involved in a cover-up. As Abigail Beeman reports, these are allegations the National Police Force firmly denies.
Many of the scandals of the Trudeau era should have been involved jail time.
In an interview posted to YouTube, the Conservative leader ripped into his former House of Commons opponent for the 2019 SNC-Lavalin affair and Justin Trudeau's 2016 family vacation on the Aga Khan's private island, as well as how the RCMP handled the cases.
The RCMP covered it all up, and the leadership of the RCMP is frankly just despicable when it comes to enforcing laws against the Liberal government.
There's no interference. I don't take any orders from any political individual.
When the RCMP's top cop rejected cover-up claims,
I would invite Mr. Poilievre to meet with us and to meet with the people who run this great organization.
Pierre Poilievre said he would accept the invitation and double down.
If the RCMP commissioner is now saying that he wants to open that investigation, we're prepared to hand over all the evidence of Mr. Trudeau's criminal code violations.
In this case, the opposition leader is going a bit too far.
This political strategist says there is room to challenge and critique, but to win new voters, Poilievre may want to adopt a more moderate approach to complex issues like the state of the RCMP.
Pierre Poilievre thinks people are fired up about Justin Trudeau. He and his caucus are fired up about Justin Trudeau, but I think the public has moved on.
And to recap from the prior government, the ethics commissioner did find Prime Minister Trudeau broke the rules in both cases, but the RCMP said there wasn't enough evidence for a criminal offense in the SNC case. And in the case of the near decade-old vacation, even though long pressed by the Conservatives, the RCMP said it couldn't productively pursue a criminal investigation. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
A new consumer report has found some brands of popular protein powders contain lead. Canadian health authorities have deemed there is no safe amount of lead for human consumption. John Venevalley-Rao has more on how much was found.
Yeah. At Toronto's Studio Fitness, where they help people achieve their strength-building dreams, personal trainer Clementine Nazin often recommends protein shakes, which she drinks twice a day.
Protein is honestly your best friend for any health or fitness goals.
She says they're great for muscle recovery, and at her gym, they ensure the protein powder they use in their drinks is healthy. Concerned about the new report raising questions about brands they don't use.
They should really tackle that issue because it becomes a really important safety hazard.
Consumer Reports tested 23 protein powders and shakes, and it says over 2/3 contained more lead in a single serving than what its experts considered safe for an entire day. In some cases, lead levels were 10 times higher, an issue they've looked at before.
It's concerning that these results are even worse than the last time we tested.
Experts at Consumer Reports went so far as to say consumers may want to avoid some of the products they named and moderate their intake of others. Experts say the concern is repeated consumption over time that could build up lead in the body and cause problems.
It could lead to mood disorders, cognitive decline, kidney disease, and even reproductive problems.
The report found plant-based protein powders had some of the most lead, which is found naturally in the environment, including in soil. In a statement, an industry group pushed back, calling the report alarmist, misleading, and unscientific, adding the levels of lead flagged by Consumer Reports are far below amounts present in many foods, including some fruits and vegetables. Still, some experts say consuming protein powder in moderation is key.
If you want to use them, Consumer Reports is recommending you scrutinize your protein shakes and consume them on occasion. John Valley-Rouse, CTV News, Toronto.
The Toronto Blue Jays are 2 wins away from a trip to baseball's biggest stage. They blew out the Mariners for a second straight game last night and can now take a series lead in Game 5. With more from Seattle, here's Andrew Johnson.
On a fall Pacific Northwest day that started gloomy and gray, Blue Jays fans in Seattle are feeling anything but.
It was great. It was great. Fantastic. You know, you can't believe it.
Corey and Danielle Brandvold bought tickets to all 3 games in Seattle, then drove 18 hours from Weyburn, Saskatchewan, taking a leap of faith the team could turn things around.
Awesome. Packed house and everybody's friendly.
Seattle fans have been great.
It's an out-of-town playoff experience that also drew Aaron Wittstock to cross the border.
Down here is great. I might have been afraid to go down to New York. I think it's a little scarier down there, but Seattle's always been great. It's a great town, so happy to come down.
The team they love is putting together a remarkable comeback, arriving in Washington State down 2-0 and now in position to take the series lead. For these fans, seeing it happen in person is close to priceless.
What'd you pay for your seats?
Oh man, a couple $100 USD, which is like $500 Canadian.
Worth it?
Yeah, worth every penny.
There may be more Canadians in the crowd today because after the Jays' 2 straight wins here, ticket prices online are dropping. Some now as low as $200 Canadian, what many would consider a bargain this far into the postseason.
A season of destiny, according to these fans.
Is this a World Series team?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, bring on the Dodgers.
Yes, definitely. Either of these 2 teams. Whoever wins the series is going to take the World Series.
No matter what happens now, the ALCS will be decided back in Toronto. The chance for a do-over after the team stumbled to start the series at Rogers Centre. They could now write the ending fans are so desperately waiting for. Andrew Johnson, CTV News, Seattle.
On the desk now with Julie Atchison, and as we look ahead to this weekend forecast, we were talking about the possibility of some rain. It sounds like we are going to get some, but it's not going to be a washout of a weekend.
No, we'll have periods of heavy rain expected on Sunday and some strong gusty winds, but Saturday looks like the win in terms of our forecast for the weekend. Saturday will be a great day to get out, perhaps do some outdoor yard work, cleaning up. Now, if you are raking leaves this weekend, on Saturday they will be blowing around a bit with winds out of the south, gusting close to 40. But make sure you bag those leaves because they will be whipping around on a Sunday with gusts higher. A strong area of low pressure will be moving in. Daytime high 16 degrees, and we're holding steady as we head to Midwestern Ontario. A bit cooler, but towards Windsor, Chatham, temperatures into the upper teens. So a nice evening underway. Most of the showers have moved out. We'll just leave in a slight probability of 30%, and it was a cool start to the day. So temperature-wise, we will stay on the mild side overnight, with some areas even holding in the double digits. As we take a look at the satellite radar, we're just starting to see this area of low pressure take shape. As you can see, lots of moisture and energy being ejected out of the central plains. The low pressure area now moving towards northern Ontario, and a cold front extending all the way down to the southern plains. This could cause some active weather stateside with some strong thunderstorms expected. Now for us, as the front comes in, it'll be Saturday night where we start to see conditions deteriorate. It looks like rain overnight Saturday and periods of rain with the possibility of thunderstorms into Sunday. So this entire system will move across the Great Lakes. It'll wind its way through, and this time of year when we start to see these autumn storms, they start to take shape and they become a bit more intense. Forecast models showing the potential for some strong winds, especially on Sunday. So that's something to keep an eye on, especially if you live near the lake shore. So you can see some rain that moved out ahead of that warm front. Again, that's that warm push of air coming in. I mentioned the milder temperatures overnight, and you can really see this line as it cuts through. So the cooler and drier air on the northwestern side of that front and the warm southerly flow. So now what happens is our area of high pressure that hangs back tomorrow, we pick up the return flow. So winds come in from the southwest. That also adds into the moisture feed as we head into Saturday Saturday night and Sunday. So watch it take shape on the forecast model. So you can see this is all along that cold front. So the potential for some thunderstorms coming in late Saturday into Sunday, and then periods of rain expected. That's the frontal boundary. Ahead of it, winds out of the south. Behind it, they'll shift west, northwest, and temperatures will drop off as we head into early next week. So overnight, conditions will be quiet, mainly cloudy. Will be 12 in London, 9 in Mount Forest and KW, and if you're near Lake Erie or Huron, 13 to 14. Your Saturday looks beautiful with a mix of sun and cloud in the morning. Look at the high, 22 degrees. It's going to be gorgeous. What a perfect day. By Saturday night, the clouds move back in and rain and gusty winds for Sunday. Our metal roof outlet forecast keeps us mild on Sunday at 21. Until the cold front crosses, and then the temperatures drop off. Monday, a mix of sun and cloud and 15. 15 with a chance of showers on Tuesday, another low coming in. This one will bring a reinforcing push of cool autumn air. 12 degrees on Wednesday and 12 on Thursday. So we're going to shift gears going from the 20s down to about plus 12. Overnight lows 3 to 4 degrees. So temperatures typical for this time of year. We often see these swings as the warmer air wants to fight back from the southwest and that cold air trying to pour in from the north. So typical pattern setting up as a strong fall storm moving in with some rain and gusty winds expected as the cold front comes through as we head into Sunday. Mix of sun and cloud on Monday. Could see a shower come through, especially as we head into evening. So we'll bring in about a 40% chance of rain, but it should stay dry early in the day. And then we will see on and off showers all week as that cool air comes in aloft and generates off-lake showers. Carlisle, back to you.
All right, Julie, thanks very much. Still ahead, despite Canada's carefully regulated banking system, there's customer discontent with service and a growing divide behind the biggest institutions.
Join us this weekend for the iHeartRadio Pure Country Countdown. Saturdays at 9, Sundays at 4, where we look at the biggest stories and songs of the week.
I know Bad Bunny was just announced as the Super Bowl halftime performer, but that could be changing to a country artist. Sorta. We'll talk about it.
The Ontario Lottery and Gaming Corporation has made its second quarter payment to the City of London for hosting Gateway casinos. The payout for July to September is more than $1.5 million, bringing the total this year to more than $3 million. A new survey of Canada's banks shows a growing divide between our country's biggest financial institutions and the rest. Pat Foran has more on the banks customers believe are giving them the best bang for their buck.
Canada's Big Five banks dominate the financial landscape with more than 80% of all bank customers, but some smaller mid-sized banks are outperforming them when it comes to customer satisfaction. Many people say when it comes to their bank, they don't have too many complaints.
It's the one my parents had when I was a kid, so I still have it, and it's all right.
I've been with them for a while, and I really don't get anything for the loyalty.
I don't have to pay fees.
They're very helpful. I lost my debit card a couple months ago, and they helped me get it back and refill my bank account.
When it comes to the Big Five Canadian banks, RBC was named #1 in customer satisfaction for the second year in a row.
We are seeing that RBC has the highest satisfaction among the Big Five banks.
On a 1,000-point scale, RBC came in at 611 points, followed by CIBC, BMO, TD, and Scotiabank. Customer satisfaction declined 7 points with the Big Five banks over the last year, but rose 5 points with mid-sized banks.
With the mid-sized banks, customer satisfaction is rising with things like online chat, email support, online banking, branch service.
When it comes to mid-sized banks, Tangerine was #1 with 683 points, followed by Simply Financial, National Bank of Canada, Desjardins, and ATB Financial. Tangerine Bank has been #1 in the survey for 14 consecutive years.
Tangerine does everything well that you would expect an online-only bank to do well, but they also do very well at telephone service and resolving problems.
The survey did find banks both big and small are doing a better job when it comes to problem resolution, but not when it comes to opening new accounts and the helpfulness of bank employees. The survey found 7% of customers switched banks last year due to poor service, high fees, or promotional offers from competing banks. Pat Foran, CTV News.
Rideshare company Lyft has announced plans for a new technology hub in Toronto, ramping up operations outside the U.S. According to Lyft officials, the downtown location will be its second largest tech sector, behind only the facility in San Francisco. It's expected to set up in the financial district, hosting several hundred employees across engineering, product, operations, and marketing departments. Toronto has been one of Lyft's key international markets since the company launched in the city in 2017. Canada's main stock index closed out the week weighed down by losses in basic materials. The TSX fell 359. In New York, the Dow gained 238. The Nasdaq added 117. The Canadian dollar up 0.07 of a cent today. On commodity markets, gold lost more than $91 an ounce, and oil is up 16 cents a barrel. Still ahead, a Canadian crime writer pulling the plug on an American book tour for her latest novel.
5K a day is back on 97.5 Virgin Radio. Listen to Jeff, KP, and Backstage Ben for your chance to win $5,000
every weekday.
5K a day.
Virgin Radio.
Welcome back. A cancer specialist has launched a new program at a Toronto area hospital inspired by mindfulness. With more on how these sessions work, here's Pauline Chan.
Taking a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth.
Dr. Poonam Rana leads participants in the new mindfulness program at Humber River Hospital through an exercise in walking meditation.
But the premise is to focus our attention on the present moment. And in doing so, it allows us to focus on what's present rather than worrying about the future or replaying challenging situations from the past.
Worries about the future, particularly recurrence of her cancer, was the main thing that brought Sonia Machado to the session.
I went through 2 surgeries, 2 lumpectomies, and then I had chemo and radiation, and I also had to remove my ovaries. When you're in active treatments, you are on the go. You just want to get through it. And once you finish, you have a lot of time to think. And mentally is an issue because at that point you're aware of the physical changes and mentally it drains you.
The breath is such a beautiful anchor. And physiologically, how our breath is connected to our nervous system.
Each session in the 6-week program focuses on a different topic, and the participants, all from Humber River's cancer program, hear a short lecture and participate in various mindfulness exercises before wrapping up with a short discussion. A snack break gives them time to share stories and build friendships. Dr. Rana says she only discovered mindfulness 12 years ago through an article about how it could help breast cancer patients.
It could help with pain control, anxiety, depression. It helps them sleep better.
Machado's goal?
Just basically just to be aware of slowing down and to know how to slow down.
Right now, the program is only available in person, but after the year's trial is up, they'll look at the possibility of offering it online as well. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
New Brunswick has become Canada's first province to offer free radon testing kits, a program seemingly so popular, many of the libraries supplying the kits have already run out. With more, here's Sarah Plowman.
Radon wasn't on her radar until Heather Hogan was diagnosed with lung cancer 13 years ago.
We've been living in this house and we've had high levels of radon.
She was treated, but recently cancer came back.
So right now, I'm just waiting to find out my next steps.
The patient-turned-advocate wants people to know radon is the leading cause of lung cancer in non-smokers. It forms naturally when radioactive metals break down in rocks, soil, and groundwater and seeps into homes undetected. Last year, a survey found 1 in 5 Canadian homes have levels at or above Health Canada's guidelines. In New Brunswick, it's 1 in 4.
It is a personal thing, but this affects a lot of people.
Her husband, Bill Hogan, is an MLA who proposed the province cover radon testing kits, a program that started this week at libraries. But within 24 hours, NB Lung heard many had run out.
We are looking for a rapid restock and maybe restocking at a higher level.
The concern is people could be living in homes with high levels of radon and have no idea.
It is so important to test your home for radon because every home that is in contact with the ground has some level of radon in it. The question is how much.
Once the Hogans learned they had high levels of radon, they installed this system to remove the gas. It costs more than $4,000, but they know not everyone can afford it.
The government cannot pay for every house to be mitigated. However, are there ways that that grants could be offered for part of that?
New Brunswick's Minister for Post-Secondary Training and Labor notes that 80% of those 2,000 testing kits are now gone, but more are being ordered, promising that anyone who wants one will get one. Sarah Plowman, CTV News, Fredericton.
The Saugeen Shores Council has announced a new affordable housing project. According to the municipality, 140 affordable units will be built on property owned by the town in Port Elgin. It's a partnership with a local developer, which will include a new park. There would be a mix of low-rise apartments and townhomes. No specific timeline for construction was given, with officials only saying they would be built in the near future. Hockey players from around southern Ontario are in Huron County this weekend for a massive girls hockey tournament. It's the second annual Bring the Heat tournament, featuring 21 teams from as far away as Barrie. Nearly 50 games are taking place in Clinton, Goderich, and Seaforth, featuring roughly 300 young players.
I think with the PWHL, it's really more girls are seeing that and getting involved. Our Heat organization has grown we're at 19 teams this year, which is pretty much maxed out. So, and last year we ran a tournament that had 12 teams and we're at 21, so it doubled.
Thank you to Carol Ann White for this photo. She took this at the Bala Cranberry Festival. Some sunshine for your Saturday if you're going to get out and rake some leaves, and make sure that you bag them. We have some gusty winds and rainfall on the way Sunday.
A Canadian author says she won't be traveling south of the border to promote her latest novel. Louise Penny's The Black Wolf is the 20th installment in a crime fiction series. The story follows people pushing for Canada to become the 51st state, a concept she says she started working on before it became a popular talking point for the American president. She also says most of her readers are in the States, who she has great affection for. Penny says her decision not to tour the U.S. is a moral one, not a political statement. A business in British Columbia has become a repeated target for criminals. The restaurant is linked to a Bollywood celebrity and has been shot up 3 times in the last 4 months. As Craig Krause reports, the most recent gunfire rang out while staff were inside.
Gunshots ringing out in Surrey. A video surfacing on social media Thursday showing the gunman opening fire at Cap's Cafe, a restaurant linked to Bollywood comedian Kapil Sharma that has been targeted multiple times since July.
I don't know what to say, man. This is the 3rd time this thing happened here.
Are you scared?
A little bit, yeah. Because Canada is one of the safest countries in the world, and I don't know whether city is safe or not.
A city that has become a hotbed for extortion attempts and violence.
We are scared. Yeah, we are scared.
Surrey police adding this violent incident to a long list of investigations, just days after a woman was struck by a bullet while sleeping in her home.
We are diligently investigating. We have frontline supports and forensic teams out there now. We are obviously looking at this as earmarked as a potential extortion.
But is enough being done to stop the violence from happening again? Some residents say no.
It's getting to the point where, maybe Canadians have got to start arming themselves.
BC Conservative Attorney General critic Steve Cooner demanding the BC NDP and Ottawa take immediate action.
This is like foreign gang terrorism that's happening here.
Cooner calling for Crown prosecutors to be assigned to work with police while being on the same page with foreign nations, particularly India.
So those memorandums of understanding need to be negotiated to have action here and at the source of the problem.
The BC government telling CTV News it has created the BC Extortion Task Force to target organized crime and extortion threats and is working closely with local police and federal partners to coordinate investigations across jurisdictions. The federal government also telling reporters in Surrey Thursday morning it is cracking down on crime by strengthening the criminal code along along with harsher penalties.
We're coming hard for the folks that have chosen repeatedly to commit crimes.
In the meantime, the community is hoping that something will help deter this violence from continuing to happen, as the shootings here in Surrey have only intensified. Craig Crowe, CTV News, Surrey.
A former University of Windsor graduate is taking the school to court. He's accusing school officials of mismanaging his $500,000 endowment to the detriment of future law students. Michelle Molesky reports.
The students should be outraged that this money's not being used to improve their education.
James Johnson graduated from Windsor Law in 1987. After building a successful career in Toronto, he created the Advanced Business Law program in 1999.
I gave the university $500,000 to develop and enhance its corporate law program.
The money was used for 20 years to give Windsor Law students real-world experience, including placements at top law firms in Toronto and bringing in guest lecturers from the best corporate lawyers and judges in Canada.
It really provided the students with this kind of elite educational experience, which you could not really get in most other settings.
Former Dean Bruce Ellman says only the best students were selected for the program, and it offered students from all financial backgrounds the chance to access real-world learning. Plus,
it gets Windsor's name out there with major law firms, which is, in fact, where we placed most of our graduates.
4 years ago, Dean Reem Body took over the faculty. Johnson says he denied her request to use the endowment for bursaries.
It's easy to take all this money and turn it into a bursary. It's hard to use it to build something. That takes time and effort and energy and commitment.
That's when all communication stopped. Johnson says the university is refusing to provide a financial statement about the endowment funds and how the interest is being spent. So he's asking for a court-ordered audit and for Dean Body to be removed from the Advanced Business Law program.
I don't understand the lack of transparency when it comes to donors.
The University of Windsor declined to comment as the matter is before the court. A date for a hearing has yet to be set. Michelle Molesky, CTV News.
Prince Andrew has announced he is giving up his royal titles. Andrew says he and the royal family decided the continued accusations against him distract from his duties. Excerpts have been published from an upcoming posthumous memoir by Virginia Roberts Giuffre. She had said she was trafficked by the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein and had sex with the prince when she was just 17 years old. Andrew stepped away from public life in 2019 but denied wrongdoing. Today, he said he still vigorously denies the accusations against him. Andrew will remain a prince, but he is no longer the Duke of York.
London's top stories.
We have breaking news tonight out of Ottawa. The latest on the
breaking news alerts.
I'm tracking an area of severe weather. It'll start.
And watch live.
A development now to a story from City Hall we brought you.
Download the CTV News app.
Every day, people are working to bring hope to those struggling with homelessness and addiction. Watch The Helpers on CTV News at 6, starting next week, as we share their stories and ways that you can make a difference.
Finally tonight, a BC man who rediscovered a love of painting inspired by the great creators from his homeland. Adam Sawatsky reports.
When he happened upon an online video of his hometown in Italy, Cosimo Dracitano couldn't have been more surprised.
I was shocked. I said, that's me.
A picture he recalls being taken when he was 4, but had never seen until now.
We were the poorest of the poor.
Where home was one room shared by 4 people with no electricity or running water.
It was not a happy time for me.
So Cosimo started escaping through art, painting this now faded ship on his wall that he dreamed of sailing away on, a talent his mom recognized.
She took my hands onto her hands and said, you have magic hands, you can do anything.
But no one could have imagined how magic until after Cosimo left Italy on this real boat, after he created a better life for his family in Canada, and after he retired from his career repairing generators.
15 years ago, I said, I want to paint again.
After decades of nothing, the self-taught artist started painting something every day.
This was the first painting I did, and after that I did more than 100.
Cosimo begins by spending countless hours studying the work of the masters, from Da Vinci to Van Gogh.
I'm fascinated by their works. I just love them.
So, driven by the challenge of reproducing them with exacting detail, Cosimo has achieved his artistic goal of being surrounded by their beauty.
Well, it's excitement. Nothing else I experience in life.
Cosimo is so prolific. His work hangs on every wall of every room in his house and featured on a few ceilings, too.
And I didn't want to part with them. I didn't want to sell them.
The humble painter also didn't want to tell anybody about them, until his family and friends finally convinced him to start sharing them with the public. And now Cosimo is opening up his home to visitors, hoping to inspire others.
Keep on going, don't give up. I had nothing, and look what I did.
As for Cosimo's most recent original painting, inspired by that picture of his younger self he found online,
I will say I love you.
And he would show him how his magic hands would one day make all his dreams come true. Adam Sawatsky, CTV News.
That's it for us. Thanks for watching. For your latest local headlines, you can always head to our website. I'm back tonight with your late news at 11. Bye for now.